Hello everyone, welcome. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Aditya Maurya, currently pursuing BE in Sri Venkateswara College of Engineering. My USN ID is 1VE 23CA004 and I'm currently studying in the second semester section Dev. Today we'll be discussing a topic in civil engineering. So the course title is Introduction to Civil Engineering and the course code is BESCK 204A. The topic that I have chosen today is UN's Sustainable Developmental Goals. So we'll understand what is SDGs, how the SDGs are implemented, what are the goals that are taken up in the SDGs, what are the 17 goals in the SDG, how they are being implemented in the real life, and what are they. We'll understand everything in this entire video. So now that we have gone through the introduction, let's hop on to the video and let's see what is it. Okay, United Nations Development Program. This is a program by the United Nations that is Sustainable Development Goals. That is SDG, Sustainable Developmental Goals. So first, what are Sustainable Developmental Goals? The Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, also known as the Global Goals, were adopted by all United Nations members states in 2015 as a universal call to action to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure that all people enjoy peace and prosperity by 2030. There are 17 SDGs that are integrated. That is, they recognize that action in one area will affect outcomes in other, and that development must balance social, economic, and environmental sustainability. Through the pledge to leave no one behind, countries have committed to fast track progress for those furthest behind first. That is why the SDGs are designed to bring the world to several life changing zeros, including zero poverty, hunger, AIDS, and discrimination against women and girls. Everyone is needed to reach these ambitious targets. The creativity, know how, technology, and financial resources from all society is necessary to achieve the SDGs in every context. What are the 17 SDGs? As mentioned earlier, there are 17 SDGs, that is Sustainable Developmental Goals. So let's see what are those 17. The first one is no poverty. We will try to have no poverty in the entire world, that's by 2030. Zero hunger, that is the zero policy. Good health and well-being. The fourth SDG is quality education. The fifth SDG is gender equality. The sixth SDG is clean water and sanitization. The seventh is affordable and clean energy. Eighth is decent work and economic growth. Ninth is industry, innovation, and infrastructure. 10th is reduced inequalities. 11th is sustainable cities and communities. 12th is responsible consumption and production. 13th is the climate action. 14th is life below water. 15th, the SDG is life on land. 16th is peace, justice, and strong institutions. The 17th and the final SDG is partnerships for the goals. So here we saw all the 17 SDGs present here. So these are the 17 SDGs that have been resolved by that have been taken up by the UN member states to make the world a better place to live and be happy and prosperous in this particular world. So now let's see some of the important goals, or let's just see have a brief introduction to all the important goals, all the goals, that is 17 goals. So let's have an brief about all the 17 goals. The goal 1, that is end poverty in all its form and everywhere. Goal 2 is to end hunger, achieve food security, and improve nutrition and promote sustainable agriculture. The goal 3 is ensure healthy lives and promote well-being for all at all ages. The fourth goal, ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. The fifth goal is achieve gender equality and empower all women and girls. The sixth one is ensure availability and sustainable management of water and sanitization problems. So just know that these are all SDGs. Sustainable Developmental Goal, Sustainable Development Goal 2, Goal 3, Goal 4, Goal 5, Goal 6. These are all SDGs. The Goal 7 is ensure access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all. The Goal 8 is to promote sustained, inclusive, and sustainable economic growth, full and productive employment, and decent work for all. The ninth one is build resilient infrastructure, promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization, and foster innovation. The 10th one is to reduce inequality within and among countries. The 11th goal is to make cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. The 12th goal is ensure sustainable consumption and production patterns. So these were all the 17 goals. We just had a brief about every 17 goals. So now let's see what are some very important goals which have been voted by some experts as the most important SDG to act on in a current and immediate action to be taken. Let's see what are those four particular goals which are which needs immediate action. The first one is no poverty. 736 million people still are in extreme poverty. 10% of the world's population live in extreme poverty and down for 36% in 1990. Some 1.3 billion people live in multidimensional poverty. Half of all people living in poverty are under 18. One person in every 10 is extremely poor. They're not just poor, they're extremely poor. And 80% of people living on less than $1.90 are in South Asia and Sub-Saharan Africa. So we just went through the first part, that is no poverty. We just saw all these points that have been listed to understand what is the no poverty policy, how to cure it, and what is the current situation in the no poverty. Next, the gender equality. This is SDG number 5. These are some four important SDGs that I've taken to explain here. First, women earn only 77 cents for every dollar that men get for the same work. 35% of women have experienced physical and sexual or sexual violence. Women represent just 13% of agriculture land holders. Almost 750 million women and girls alive today were married before their 18th birthday. So we want to reduce all these things. We want to take care of all these things through the SDGs. Next, two-thirds of developing countries have achieved gender partiality in primary education. Only 24% of national parliamentarians were women as of November 2018, a small increase from 11.3% in 1995. This was all about the SDG 5. So let's go to the next important one. That is affordable and clean energy. This is SDG 7. So 1 in 7 people still lack electricity. How many? 1 in 7 people still lack electricity, and most of them live in rural areas of the developing world. Energy is the main contributor to climate change. It produces around 60% of greenhouse gases. So somehow it is affecting the world as well, the Mother Earth as well. More efficient energy standards could reduce building and industry electricity consumptions by 14%. More than 40% of the world's population, that is 3 billion, rely on polluting and unhealthy fuels for cooking. As of 2015, more than 20% of power was generated through renewable sources. The renewable energy sector employed a record 10.3 million people in 2017. The energy sector is very important as it is providing such a huge employment to people and also helping us to lead a very healthy and a normal life. Without energy, we are no more of a use to it. So next, the fourth important one, SDG, is the peace, justice, and strong institutions. By the end of 2017, 68.5 million people had been forcefully displaced as a result of persecution, conflict, violence, or human rights violations. There are at least 10 million stateless people who have been denied nationality and its related rights. Corruption, bribery, theft, and tax evasion cost developing countries US 1.26 trillion per year. 49 countries lack laws protecting women from domestic violence. In 46 countries, women now hold more than 30% of the seats in at least one chambers of national parliament. 1 billion people are legally invisible because they cannot prove who they are. This includes an estimated 625 million children under age 14 whose births were never registered. So, how is the implementation and framework of SDG taken up in India? Niti Ayog. Niti Ayog is the nodal agency in India which is responsible for the task of coordinating work on SDGs by adopting a synergistic approach. MOSPI is responsible for indicator framework and has developed national indicator framework in consultation with ministries, states, and union territories. As the state level planning departments are the nodal department for implementation of SDGs and each center. There is a nodal department for every state. So far, what are the actions that have been taken up to work on the SDG? To achieve the SDG, so far, how many work and what kind of works are done? So first, the baseline survey is done. Mizoram Vision 2030, regional workshop, state level sensitization workshop, district level sensitization workshop, publicizing of SDGs, preparation of wall hanging, making and broadcasting of video clips on SDGs, talk show on SDGs, Mizoram SDG website, developing SIF and DIF. These are the actions that are already taken or to be taken for the improvement, for the achieving the goal of SDG. So I hope you understood the entire video. The entire video was on SDGs, the Sustainable Developmental Goals that have been taken up by the United Nations member states. Those who just want to make the earth, the living world, a better place and a happy place. I hope you understood what I wanted to explain you about all these things. And if it did, so please let me know and also like the video. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.